Meeta, glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Nico. It's a pleasure.
So yesterday I was with a friend and I was trying to explain what Jetscale AI is and what the platform is providing to our clients.
Yes.
And he asked the same question as many clients ask. In fact, does the hyperscalers already provide those type of optimization, recommendation, out of the box in the platform? And I thought I should be discussing that with you today to come up with the right answer.
Such a great question. Yeah, absolutely. Your friend was on the right track that yes, the native tools do provide recommendations. The main issue with the recommendations they provide is that they're a bit more context blind, where they don't take into consideration like the freeze hours, the peak hours of your resource and stuff like that. Where Jetscale plays along a great part as an add-on is that we are able to give recommendations which are contextually very aware about the governance aspect of your resource, but also, like I said, the resource usage matrix, whether your resource has been up for a lot of time and it has have been of critical health. So that's where we are very great at compared to the hyperscaler recommendations.
Yeah, and there's also the notion of a turnkey solution. So
Exactly.
I think we go more far in remediation. Can you remediate directly with the console in AWS, for example?
No, exactly. And that's where we stand out as well, that we have a closed loop approach. We are able to recommend you, but also remediate what we have recommended by creating like PR reviewable infrastructure code, which can be practiced in your engineering team and can be a part of your Git workflows by approving the PR or declining the PR, which the native hyperscalers are very differently handling, right? They give the recommendations, but you just have a dashboard. Your engineering team, somebody has to be accountable there, has to go in, review manually and see which one makes sense, which one doesn't make sense, and then go in there either CLI or like another way of whatever, Cloud Code or Cursor if they're using with that help to like remediate it. Whereas in Jetscale, everything can be contained in the platform, within the platform to action it.
So it makes me think about the fact that I sat down with Mehdi recently and we discussed about observability tool.
Yep.
And we conclude that you need both. You need Jetscale AI, but you still need those tools. And they work perfectly together to have a powerful ecosystem that will optimize your cloud. And it sounds like the same thing it's happening with your hyperscaler.
Exactly. We take that more. We are more like an add-on, which can be an extension to them, and we that in our recommendation agent too. We do the similar kind of concept where we do ingest this also as a context for us, like the cost optimization hub or compute optimizer hyperscaler recommendation is also like taken into consideration as a context, so we can also provide better recommendations which are more holistic about like not just cost but performance, security, and have that complete laid out. So yes.
Yeah, so let's deep dive. Let's look at the AWS console, for example, today. Let's see what kind of recommendation, how does it display the recommendation, and let's compare to what we do with our platform at Jetscale.
Yes. So the way AWS recommendations are laid out, it's mostly in the cost optimization hub under billing, cost, and management. So when you go here, you would see that the recommendations seem to be very like less context driven, where you see the resource type, the resource ID, but it's hard to locate the resource name. You are able to see like the current resource summary, the recommended resource summary, which is basically kind of the resource type itself. Not every recommendation has a reasoning or a rationale around the resource summary that is being provided. Versus when we go towards our Jetscale AI platform, and you notice we do have like a better context driven like observability possible on our platform, where you're able to see the resource name, but also have like a detailed matrix around like the resource itself, like have more insights if you were to have like the capacity as well, which you don't see easily in the AWS side. And similarly, the cost optimization opportunity, the reasoning, which is more explanatory for a user to define why we think what we are recommending makes sense. So they're able to make a holistic decision too, whether this recommendation can be approved, declined, or modified with like certain more changes. So that's where it stands out.
Yeah, and I like the recommendation that you chose for the example here because I see that we recommend a spot instance.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, you told me that we are context driven. We take more context in the information that makes the recommendation, and I think that's the kind of recommendation that we won't get in AWS.
Exactly, you said it very well. Like this kind of recommendation to get in any hyperscalers is very difficult because it's the governance aspect of the governance aspect of the recommendations, that context of the recommendations that's driving that, because that we have we are taking the tags into consideration. So the tags help to drive whether it can be optimized spot or not, versus in hyperscalers you wouldn't really have that kind of context that we were talking about.
You'll have maybe a recommendation to go from one machine to another one that will still save money, but not as much that if you're going to spot instance because you're on staging for this environment, for example.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, and today, right now we compare to AWS, but is there a difference if our client is on Azure or GCP?
No, it's exactly the same. For Azure, we have Trusted Advisor, but the issues across the board are similar. Like we get a dashboard in all the hyperscalers where the recommendations are laid out, but the remediation aspect of it is not really holistic, but also the context that we were talking about. So across all cloud platforms, it's the same. And all this brings me back to another point, that where we also stand out is that within our platform, we are very cloud agnostic. So you're able to link your AWS, Azure, GCP, all the cloud accounts without going into 3 different URLs and looking for details for your Azure account, then looking for details for your GCP account. So that's also something really helpful with.
It's a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
Everything at the same place.
Exactly.
And I can't wait to sit down again with you, because I know at some other point we'll discuss how we can compare the data that we see from AWS and how in Jetscale AI we're preparing feature that will allow us to discover all that in a very innovative and quick way.
100%. Yeah, same here. Looking forward to be there for the next one.
Thanks, Mita.
Thank you.